What's up guys, welcome back to Hawaii. Today I'm going to be changing the oil on this little Alton 11-gallon compressor. The process of the oil change will pretty much be the same for any oiled compressor. There might be a few exceptions, but this should work for anything you have, big or small. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is check the current oil level in it. I've already made a video about buying the compressor and what you should look for. So if you just bought your compressor and you're going to do an oil change, go check out the video up there. Some of the compressors have a little circle in this sight glass, and if it has that, the oil level should go right through the center of that. This one doesn't, and as you can see, it is actually right to the top of the glass, so that's where we're going to fill it. If you're not sure whether it should be in the middle of the sight glass or up above, try looking online for a manual if you don't have one in paper. But if you overfill it a little bit, it won't hurt. So the next step is to find your drain plug. After you find your plug, find the correct size wrench. Mine's a 3/4. Next, get a funnel and something to catch the oil in. Take a wrench and break the plug free. Mine was extremely loose. Get it to the point where you can loosen it by hand. Then get your funnel and something to catch it in. I'm just using this old cranberry juice bottle. And get it into position. Next, just loosen it by hand. And let the oil flow. And you can see how nasty that is. Wow. Look at that. So I'm making a mess here. If you have a small enough compressor, just turn it on its side so the oil drain is just straight down. Once you get all the oil out, put your drain plug back in. It might be helpful to put like a copper crush washer on there to help stop leaks. I don't really recommend putting any kind of Teflon tape or anything, because that can, come apart and get into your oil, and that won't be good. So after putting your drain plug in, you're gonna need to put new oil in. I recommend just using compressor oil. This is just a Napa brand compressor oil. You can use other things. If you live in a warmer climate, you can use like 30 weight, but if you live really in a cold place, I've heard people using 10 weight, but typically, 30 weight should be fine. But I just like to use the stuff that it's made to use, So this is just compressor oil. This is another brand of compressor oil, the Husky brand, synthetic. So, it doesn't really matter what brand compressor oil you use unless it says something on it or in your manual. If it says something differently, use that. But I mean, you can kind of get away with anything. I've even heard of people using ATF. So we're just gonna pull the plug out, put our funnel in there, start filling. As we're filling, we're just gonna keep our eye on the lens there. Make sure we don't overdo it. And quite a bit of that oil came out, so shouldn't really be an issue. So you can hardly see it on the camera, but you can see where the oil level is right now, wherever my finger is. With one that has a little circle in there in the sight lens, it kind of tells you where the level should be. You should keep it in that circle. This one doesn't, and the way I got it was all the way full, so obviously that didn't hurt it. So I'm just gonna keep filling away until it's at the top there. So after you top it off, just put your cap back on and you're pretty much done. I'd recommend checking everything to make sure there's no leaks, or making sure your level is still true after a couple cycles. If you're doing an oil change, it's good to go ahead and change the air cleaner on it as well and re-oil that. Mine doesn't have one, as you can see. But if yours does, I would recommend cleaning it out. Well, I hope this video was helpful and answered any questions you guys had. If you have any more, leave them in the comments down there. If you like this video, please rate it or comment. And if you like my channel, go ahead and subscribe for more. Alright guys, that's it. Have a good one. It's a lot of fucking